Hey there! Today I want to show you how to make a map generator while you are in editor mode. So, by the end of this video you will be able to generate your own simple maps with trees and stones. So let's start with the scripts. Actually, we need two scripts. One map generator button helper to show the buttons in our editor, and one map object generator. So the first script, map generator button helper, inherits from the editor and has a custom editor attribute with the type of our map object generator. So this tells Unity that this button helper extends the map object generator. So in this class we override the onInspector GUI method from the editor. In here we first call the drawDefaultInspector to show, for example, the serialized fields. Next we make a reference to our map object generator and then create two buttons. One generate map and one delete object. And if the button gets clicked, we call the methods from our map object generator. So let's have a look at the map object generator. This one inherits from the money behavior as all other scripts and has a required component, a mesh filter. In our case, this is a standard Unity plane object. We also have some serialized fields which you saw in the intro. These are holding our prefabs and some variables for the maximum output. We also have these two methods which are called by our button helper. So in generate map we spawn our trees and rocks, and on delete objects we want to destroy all child objects of our plane object. Here we have to use the destroy immediate method because the normal destroy method will not work when you are not in play mode. So let's take a deeper look in the spawning system. As you can see, we pass in a list of game objects and a maximum amount and a bool variable. So the first two are very obvious. The third variable is for a random rotation. So to create multiple objects, I decided to use a for loop with the maximum amount. And in here, I first get a random object from the list. This method just returns a random object from the list. So now we have a prefab to spawn, and we can use our normal instantiate method to spawn the object on the plane. Here we pass in the prefab, a random position on the ground, the local rotation of our prefab, and our plane as a parent. After we spawn the object, we set the local scale of our object to 1, so it gets not stretched when we scale the plane. We also rotate our spawned object on the y-axis if random rotation is true. Pretty easy till now. Now for the hard part. Get a random point on the ground. For this we need some background knowledge of Unity planes. So a standard Unity plane consists of 121 vertices, which are arranged in a grid of 11 by 11. So to get a point on the plane, we just need the 4 edges. And this can be easily done, because the edges always have the same number in the grid. So we start in the top left with 0 and end with 120 on the bottom right. So to get a list of the vertices, we first need our mesh filter. Then the shared mesh and the vertices. After that, we can get our 4 points from the list with our 4 indexes. Then we have to transform these points to the world grid system. And after that, we can calculate the x-axis and the z-axis. And then calculate a random position on the plane. We always set the position y to 0 because we don't want the objects to float above or under the ground. So back in Unity, we just need a bunch of trees and rocks and put them in the list of our map object generator. Then set the max trees and rocks, and then we can generate random maps. So that's it for now. Tell us in the comments what you want to see in the next level generator video. So, I hope you learned something new today. Subscribe to watch more tutorials, and I'm sure I see you in the next.